Please look into that. What is this thing, ma? 1020, 1020, 1020. Is it not called a data? So where I am representing my data? Function call. Already you learned in my Python class. Data can be sent in two ways. Either in function call I can say, or inside the body I can take it. Taking values, returning values, not taking values, not returning values, taking values, not returning, not taking, returning. Long ago, this concept was there. Such a type of concept, even C language also there. Sit properly. So this is the data. 1020, how many times I represented? 4 times. Is it not wasted my memory space? That means data is always available either in function call or in the function body. It is available. Every time I am writing again and again I am writing. Is it not a waste of my memory space? If you go to Python, that is object oriented programming, not only Python, if we go to object oriented programming, do you know, students, I will keep it in where? B is one object. For example, what is my data present here? 1020 AB. Very shortly we'll come to that. What I am doing? Come on. B dot what? See, L is equal to list of. L is equal to list of. L dot append of. L dot copy of. L dot insert of. L dot extend of. L dot sort of. L dot reverse of. You've seen object name dot function name. Object name dot function name. Object name dot function name. Where I am storing my data? In object. So my functions are operating on object. My object is operating on function. Functions are operating on object. Simple, mom. You take an example. Okay, let me finish. B dot add. Add is a function operating on what? What is the data it utilizes? 10 and 10 to 20. What is the answer is coming? 30. B dot what I am using? Sub. Sub function operating on which data? P data. Of course, BO I will tell. BO. BO dot. Object name. BO dot what I am writing again? MUL of. It is operating on this BO object data or not? So data represented how many times? One time. How many functions operating on it? So is it called a very high memory management is maintaining or not? In C language, every time I am writing 1020, 1020, 1020. Is it not called a waste of memory space? Tell me, in C language, data is available around the functions. Data is available around the, but in object-oriented programming languages, data is available in where? Objects. Let me tell you your favorite example. What is your favorite device? M is equal to what? Mobile. What is mobile? Class. What is M? Types of mobiles. Already this awareness I created long ago. House plan, types of houses. Beginning days, you are in LKG, school dress wearing time. You know that? Types of houses are called what? Objects. House plan is called what? Class. That awareness. Carry that. Even if you forget, no problem, because I am going to enter into technically. What is M? When you buy the new mobile, what are you doing? M dot add. All your friend numbers added or not? What is this, contact list or not? Yes. After that, on your mobile object, contact details are stored one time or each and every time? All contacts are there. Now I want to talk to one of the contact person is called Ravi. Ravi or Naveen is your friend, for example. So I want to, or Srinivas is your friend. You want to talk to that person. How do you talk? M dot, say M dot talk. M dot talk. M dot talk. Already M contains contact number or not? M dot chart. M dot chart. Contact number is available how many times? But I am using in how many functions? M dot phone pay. M dot phone pay. M dot Google Pay. M dot internet payment. M dot something like reservation. M dot video call. M dot something like WhatsApp chatting. How many functions are operating on single data? Many functions are operating on single data. Am I storing contact number again and again? How many times my contact number is available in my mobile? such a single contact number used in many operations or not? That is nothing but what? Effective memory management is there in which languages? Object-oriented languages, in procedure-oriented languages. Every time you need to write the contact number. Which one is easy to represent the data? Yes. So I am writing data is available. Data is available. Available around what? Data is available around what? Objects. Sorry. Data is available around what? Functions. Gives you what memory? More memory will be taking. More memory space is taken. When you come to this point here, I am writing, students, fifth one, data is available around where? Objects. And what is happening? Functions can operate on where? Objects. And it takes what memory space? Right, good. Simple, ma. My mic is there, wireless mic is there with me. What I am doing? One mic I am using to teach. Another person is coming using the same mic, he will give song, singing a song. Another person is coming and explaining some spiritual activities. Another person is coming and explaining what? A kind of political lecture he is explaining. Is it not called one object used for multiple purposes? So what is that is called a less memory space, more memory space? These are the advantages of OOPS. And these are the solid advantages. When I observe the total coding of 10 days, every day you will see this advantage. What is the first advantage? Objects can store unlimited amount of data. Because of objects, security will be achieved. Because of objects, we can send a large amount of data all at once so that I can get effective communication. Because of all at once I am sending, effective communication is achieved. And because of objects, I am able to store the data in centralized location called object. On that object, I can do many more operations. Understand, students? Take list, simple example which I already practiced it. L1 contains lot of values. On that, I applied 11 functions I applied. Correct or not? Is my data represented once or more than once? Once. On that object, many functions operated or not? So tell me, in object oriented, what is the centralized theme? Data stored in where? Objects. On objects, who will perform the operations? Functions. Functions concept same, carry forwarded. Functions are meant for what? Performing operations. Operations requires what? Data. Data present in where? Objects. So functions operates on where? That's all. So I hope online students, can you confirm once? Come on, once again. I am going to give you here Python. This is except Python, students. And Python language is one of the both functional and what? Object oriented. Even though Python belongs to functional and object oriented, internally everything is treated as what? Objects. My dear students, everything is treated as an object. Advantages or advantages of OOPS. Now I am going to write this kind of things. Online students, please confirm once. Is this explanation is clear? If you say that, now I will move forward. Please confirm, all of you. Please confirm it. Please listen the class. Don't leave in the middle of the classes. Okay, good. So, Srinivas Reddy, thank you. So now I will move to, let me come to the subject. So mind blowing, still mind will blow like anything. Double mind blowing. It's only concept. With programming, I will show what is the efficiency of the subject. Shall I move forward? Yes. In order to say a language is object oriented. In order to say a language is object oriented, it has to satisfy what? Object oriented principles. Are you sincere, student? How? You will satisfy what principles? Sincere principles. Correct or not? Class starts at 6:10, you will be at 6:10. You are sincere. Class starts at 6:10, coming at 6:35. What? I don't want to say. Of course, our students, one or two students will come like that because of late, train late, bus late, traffic jam and all. But I never come. Will I come late? Are you seeing from beginning onwards? Am I coming later? Maybe rarely I might be coming. Maybe I don't know whether I came late or not. Am I coming late? No. That means some principles must be there. So coming to the point back, any language is saying object oriented, it has to satisfy which principles? Object oriented principles. Actually, there are 8 object oriented principles are there, students. 8 object oriented principles are there. These 8 object oriented principles, Java is satisfying. Python is satisfying only 7. Sir, what about that 8th one? 8th one is very complicated actually. That complicated thing included in the Python software itself. ROSM only implemented internally to provide easiness to the Python programmers. Understand? That type of 8th principle, James Gosling, who is the father of Java, he did not implement it. He did not implement it because it has what? Backward compatibility support is there. Because he is seeing the previous versions also he is carrying forward. But in Python, no backward compatibility. They designed the software freshly for every 20 years once, 25 years once they will redesign it. Did you understand what I'm talking? So Python programming is one of the object-oriented programming so that it has to satisfy some list of principles. Object-oriented programming principles are not language. These are the principles. Principles means what? Some set of rules. Those rules we need to implement in the programming to get its advantages. What are those principles? Now I am writing to see any language is object-oriented programming language. It has to satisfy what? Object-oriented principles. Object-oriented principles. Those who are learning Oracle 8, Oracle 9, Oracle 10G, Oracle 19C, that C, this C, etc. C's they will learn. They need to explain what? Object-oriented principles in detail. You learn in my class, you apply on your Oracle, you will learn like anything. Because I will explain what is OOPS principles in general, because after 20 years, if some language is coming, that language also will understand by applying today's concept. Right? You apply on C++, you will understand. You apply on Java also, you will understand. You apply on Python also, you will understand. You apply on C#.NET also. Any new thing is coming in the near future, you will understand the object-oriented language very easily. Because I am explaining what is object-oriented principle generally and how it is implemented in Python I am introducing. What are those principles, ma? Number 1 is called what? Classes. This classes concept, only one classes concept. Second one also I will write it. This is called one pair. This is called one pair. I will explain almost 8 hours this session is. To explain the syntax itself will take 6 hours for me. That syntax itself. Normally I can say class is this and this and is over. That is called one thing. Just wash out the hands with sanitizer. Because of that, nothing will happen. Student cannot understand. I will explain like anything. Next, third one is called what? Data encapsulation. I will explain everything with coding, students. Third, fourth one is called what? Data abstraction. Data abstraction. Data abstraction. When you go to the banking application, bank manager will have a lot of privileges and clerks will not have those privileges. Bank manager will have a lot of privileges to access everything. Clerks will not have the privileges. Even though they are authorized people, they cannot access. How that the privileges can be granted? With OOPS only we can grant. Are you following? Suppose you are there in we are a family member. Your parents can operate your locker. Can you go and operate the locker? Of course, you can operate or not, I don't know. Some privileges will be granted by your parents. You must do this, you must do this like this. Am I correct or not? So how to grant these privileges? We are going to do with what? Encapsulation and abstraction. I will explain that. With the coding, I will explain. With the explain, I will explain. So next go to fifth one is called what? Inheritance. So much of discussion will be done on inheritance. Once classes and objects are clear, other things are dead easy for you because these are the 2 pillars. On the top of the 2 pillars, everything is built. Next, after that, I am going to say sixth one is called polymorphism. Polymorphism is going to come. And in middle of it, constructors will come, destructors will come, garbage collector will come, method overriding will come. So many interrelated topics will come. Next, after that, what will be coming? Message passing will come, which is already discussed in the class. I'm not going to discuss once again, but daily I will use as a part of these things. Message passing will come daily in all these places. I will show you that. Did you understand? Well, so in what is that eighth one, sir? Eighth one is also there, sir. That is called, what you know, dynamic binding. Dynamic binding, which is a very complicated concept in Java. Very complicated. Such complicated thing in Python, it is by default satisfying because they removed. They did not give to the programmer in hand to write it because it is by default satisfied. Where I will explain, I will show you that. Where I will show you in pickling of our oops, I will explain. I will show you that how it is satisfying. There is nothing without importing the module, I can access the module features. That is nothing but dynamic binding we can call. I will show you that. So how many OOPS principles are there? So spell out once. Classes, objects, data encapsulation, data abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. So at least you must say how many OOPS principles are there. How many? Right. Some of the people in Amirpet or in some websites are going to say OOPS principles are only 4. Even in your Java, in your colleges and different places, because this is what one trainer will give something, one trainer will give something. If any trainer says 4, you listen and ask one question straightforward to lock that person. Okay, sir, you said 4, na? Write a program by using inheritance. One small program you show me by using what? Inheritance. He will start the program by using what? Yes. Then you can ask, sir, what is class? You can ask a question, what is the class? Then he will say, what is this dangerous question? Don't try to listen, you question it. What is the class? And you will immediately will create an object. Why object creation? To store the data. Then you ask immediately a question, what is class and object then? Then you will say, you are correct, you will say. As a part of OOPS, what is coming? So OOPS invented by OMG group. OMG group. OMG group. Object, your favorite answer, object management group. Oh my God, God. I can smell out what is there in your mind. Some of the girls are saying, looking at that and saying that. Lips reading, I found out. It is object management group. Under that, some scientists are there. Some scientists are there. Grady Booch, Grahamson, Grandson. There are so many number of scientists gathered together. They invented some new principles to avoid the problems of what? Procedure-oriented programming. Did you understand that? So these are the principles they designed. Anybody says this 4, if you go to an interview, how many OOPS principles are there? If you say 4, interviewer will say that, okay, we will call you later, they will say. You did not understand why he said that word. If you go to an interview, how many OOPS principles are there? If you say 7, he will definitely say, tell me what are those. Even though the person is an interviewer who is knowing 4, he is knowing 4 because in his interview, this question was not coming. He was selected. He knows only 4 OOPS principles. That question did not got it in his interview. He was there in the company. He is asking the question, how many OOPS principles are there? You are saying 7. You are saying 7. Definitely will listen what are the extra 3. Yes or no? And he will appreciate. And these 3 are for what? To write any polymorphism program, inheritance program, encapsulation and abstraction, compulsory what you to use. And to pass the data from one application to another application, what is compulsory? Without these things, you cannot write any of these 4. If you say this 7, you can explain with the coding in the interview. That's why I always speak to the interviewer with the coding only. We should not go for talking orally. If you talk orally, they're having some power, they will try to override you. You should say, you please hold on, I will write a code and you will need to show. Because always writing the coding, he will also appreciate you because you are most useful for what? Coding. because industry means coding. Did you understand this point? So, coming to the point of it, classes, objects, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and next what? Polymorphism, and next is what? Message passing. Are you able to understand my point? Right. Now I am going to introduce what? Classes. Now I am going to say small example I will give you. Whatever is explained, I will show you a small description for you students. Small description I want to show you about that features. So let me come to this place and I'm going to say OOPS related kind of thing. What are the benefits of OOPS? I will show you. List of object oriented principles. Benefits of OOPS I want to show you. See my dear students, all of you, whatever is explained, I am giving in a small documentation. If typing everything, because already you understand our notes style, please read. Object oriented principles are features or concepts. In real time, to develop any project or application, we must choose a language and it can satisfy two types of principles. They are functional or procedure oriented principles, and these many number of examples. Object oriented principles, these are the examples. Even though Python programming belongs to, come on, both functional and object oriented programming, internally everything is treated as what? Object. Now I am saying everything is an object. Benefits, advantages of what? Object oriented principles. Come on, objects allows us to store large volume of data. So that's why we are getting what? That is the slogan of what? Python. Next, the data is visiting between two machines in the form of ciphertext, encrypted format, so that we can achieve the security. The large volume of data can be transmitted between multiple machines all at once in the form of objects and obtains effective communication. With objects, we can build high effective reusable applications. Objects with functions, objects with modules, object with packages, objects with inheritance. Did you understand? Come on to the point back. The data is always available around objects. Effective memory usage and functions can operate on where? Objects. Right. Syed, my dear student Syed, I will explain NumPy and Panda so perfectly. I told you now. First day demo, see my classes growth you see, and you see my growth. Am I reducing anywhere down? Each topic, something is started high pitch or not? Is it happening in your previous career? Started with a very high pitch. The last is going to be what? In cell or they will fall down. But we are taking to what? 10th floor I will talk. 10th floor still you will expect, sir, concept one more floor. That means you will expect another topic also. So last topic is NumPy and Pandas. After that, multi-threading, network programming. Still I will go on telling this. I'll go to taking high concept only always. Bimal, I never make you to fall down, provided if you read my notes thoroughly. Understand? So even I never come down even single because all our concepts will be designed in such a way that everyday topic is peak level I will take. Okay, now? So last day also, same commitment, same deep of the subject, same coding, Pandas and NumPy, I'll explain so deeply. Anywhere else, NumPy, 1 hour, NumPy is over. Other batches of Python, 1 hour, NumPy is over. You will become Pi. Pandas, half an hour. I used to say regularly, we will become Panda. Panda means, you know, in ఏదో దాంట్లో ఉంటుంది నాకు కూడా తెలుసు అది in okay, I forget it. Something I'm remembering, I forget it. Chocolate is in ball, like it is in ball. In chocolate, inside one panda is there. Kinder Joy. Because when my daughter is in 3rd class or 4th class, you will say Kinder Joy. I want Kinder Joy. In Kinder Joy, when I take it, inside one panda is there. So I'm remembering that. So all chocolate names I know because of her. Okay, students, anyhow, come to back. So Syed, my dear student, I will explain NumPy and Panda so perfectly. So I told my target now. So that's why don't excite it. I will explain so perfectly for you. Shall I go to the class now? Yes. Let me open one more thing. List of object-oriented principles. I'll go for list of object-oriented principles. To say a language is object-oriented, it has to satisfy the following principles. Number one, classes, objects, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. Message passing. And I will go for what? Classes. Shall I start? Now I will start. Now I will start the concept of class. Well, any difficulty? No. What are the advantages of OOPS? Did you remember? Okay. Do you know what are the object-oriented principles? How many? Spell out once. Classes, objects, data encapsulation, data abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. All of them I will use connect to my previous examples. Okay, even last class, network programming, I will use OOPS. Multi-threading, I will use OOPS. Everywhere else OOPS I connect. Right? Fine. If you know the subject well, you can comb your hair on the head like anything. If no hair on that, bypass road and ring road only. Nothing is, no comb also required. Okay, let us start. Now I am going to start. What is the use of these classes? Now I am going to say, what is the purpose of class? First point, whether you learn C++ object-oriented programming, Java object-oriented programming, in the near future any language is coming, object-oriented if you come, compulsory class is coming in front of you. Shall I give you the purpose of class? Well, let me give you one beautiful example. See students, I want to store, take care, this example. I want to store STNO, take care and answer my question quickly. I want to store name and I want to store three subjects marks and college name or of course like this you take it. I don't want to take much complex. I want to calculate total marks. Second one is what? Calculate grade. Decide grade. Next I want to say display marks memo. This is my intention of today. This is my requirement today. How you do this? Just tell me. No. Don't worry about class. I'm asking how you do it. Already in our class we did this. How you did? We took this data in where L1 is equal to 10, row sum, 34, 56, 78. These are the marks. We took it. Correct or not? Tell me. After that, what we did? We written some code by ourselves. Some lines of code we have written. And finally, we have shown the student memo. Correct? Now, today, I don't want my programmer to feel much complexity to write the code like that. What I want to do? I want to make him to develop his own object. Okay, you will feel complex for that. I don't want to go for it. Look at 10 is there. What is 10? Everybody. Number. What is RS? Name. What is 34, 56, 78? Okay. Since you are my students, I said you they are called like that. You are understanding. I will call one outside student. I never show this entire thing. Directly I will ask what is 10. Will he say that student number? He cannot. Can he say that he is a student name? He will say some name, but he can't say exactly it is a name. Can he say that these are marks? He cannot. That means you may say, sir, I will go for a D1, sir. D1, I will go for it. What is this now? SNO is equal to 10, sir. Next, I will say name is equal to RS, sir. RS, sir. I will take like this, you will say. Name is equal to like this, you will go on saying. Next, I will say what? M1 is equal to what? M1 is equal to some 34, sir. M2 is equal to some 56, sir. And next is called what? M3 is equal to some 78, sir, you will say. Did you understand? Tell me now. By looking at it, what you can understand? The another person also can understand that this is the data of what? This is the data of what? SNO, name, marks. So Rahul, yes, sir. Sir, what about arrays concept in Python? My dear student, I will explain Rahul. I will explain arrays. When I come to arrays, I will make you just king in arrays because NumPy deals with what? NumPy deals with what? Arrays. 1D array, 2D array, n-dimensional array also I will tell you. N-dimensional array also I will tell you. N-dimension. Nobody will explain n-dimensions. N-dimensional arrays also, 3 dimensions, 4 dimensions, n number of dimensions I will explain. So I will explain everything. Rahul, don't worry, my dear student. In NumPy, I will explain that. Okay, na? Very shortly after OOP speeches, I will introduce what? NumPy and Pandas. Okay, na? So after learning OOPs, if you start NumPy and Pandas, na, you will understand like anything. Because in NumPy and Pandas, they used what? OOPs principles very well, they used it. Okay, Rahul? Right. Come on, look at that now. Okay. Data represented, nice. Do you have any function present in D1 to calculate the marks? Come on, ma. D1 dot cal total. Do you have any such function? No. Do you have D1 dot decide grade? Do you have any function called decide grade? No. Decide grade. Do you have any such function? No. Do you have any D1 dot display data? Display data, do you have any such functions? No. It has what function? Clear function, copy function, pop function, pop item function, get function, get values, items, like that only we have. We don't have these functions. So today I am expecting what? So dict also not suitable, list also not suitable. What I am expecting today? Customization I am expecting. Customization of what? Data storage. Customization of what? Data storage. In our artificial intelligence, there are a lot of AI models are there. For every model in my project, I will develop my own customized objects I will create. So to go for customization of the data, like this, I want to model it. For that object, to this object need what? So in our Python programming, how many data types are there to store it? 14 data types are there. Is 14 data types allows us to store the data to deal this on? No. Are you correct, ma? So these 14 data types are not allowing me to deal this requirement. So what should I do? You go for developing your own data type. What is my data type today? What is my data type today? Student. What is list? Class. What is student? I want to develop my own class. I will create S is equal to what? Student of. L1 is equal to list of. Always have the comparison. What is L1? What is list of? What is S? What is student? What is student is here? Class. Every class in Python is acting as a data type. Is your data type or already defined? Whoops is whoops, it will become now. List is already defined. You are defining a. Is it a predefined data types or not? Student is already defined. You are defining a. So it is known as which defined data type? Programmer defined data type. We will use the concept of classes. We'll use the concept of, right. Now I want to store employee data. Predefined data types, predefined classes are not suitable to my requirement. Today I want to store my customized data of what? Employee application, employee app I want to develop. Are you following? ICICI mobile app I want to develop. iMobile app I want to develop. SBI mobile, Union Bank mobile app I want to develop it. What that apps are actually in Whoops level programming only, in Swiggy, in Uber, in all bookings. You are going for Amazon. They are nothing but what apps are written with Whoops only. So all these things are what when you are installing that app, whose object is created in your mobile. With that object, you are going for what? Checking your balance, funds transfer, many more transactions you are going to do. Are you able to follow? So, coming to the point back, now I am going to say, what is the purpose of class? Tell me. Come on, fast. The purpose of what? Classes concept. Purpose of classes concept is that any person ask tomorrow, what is the purpose of class? Don't tell your old knowledge. Class is a collection of objects. Question అడిగింది వేరు, మీరు ఆన్సర్ చెప్పేది వేరు. What is the purpose of class? You need to tell purpose of class only. For every answer, don't tell the same answer. Like a cow answer, don't tell. Do you know cow answer? Don't know? I told once in the class, I hope. Right. The purpose of classes concept is that to develop which data type? Programmer defined data type. There is a more meaning, students. Programmer defined data type and to develop any real-time application, any real-time application in Python programming. Any application you develop it, behind of that definitely there is a class. Without classes, you cannot develop any application. Is it understandable? Any person ask tomorrow, what is the purpose of class? You must tell this concept. What is the purpose of class? To develop programmer defined data type and to develop any real-time application. Every Python program in Whoops starts with which concept? Class. Without class, there is no application development. Now, I will tell you one more purpose. Why you are developing per programmer defined data type? When already predefined data types are there, what is the need of development of programmer defined data type? I am writing. The purpose of programmer defined data type is that to store what data? To store which data, students? Customized data and to perform what? Customized operations. To perform what? Customized operations. Calculate total, decide the grade. These are all called what? Customized operations. Apps are different. A is equal to Amazon off. U is equal to Uber off. S is equal to Swiggy off. S dot order. In iMobile app, S dot order means what? No banking application called order. S dot order. Order is a function in where? Swiggy object. Yes or no? ICICI object. U is equal to mobile app. U dot balance inquiry. Yes, balance inquiry will be shown. Are you getting, students? So every app is called one object. So what is the need of development of further programmer defined data type? To develop, to store customized data and to perform what? Customized operations. That's why we will go for development of which data type? Programmer defined data type. What is the how do you develop programmer defined data types in Python? Classes. Come on, fast. What is the purpose of class? Programmer defined data type and to develop any real-time application. What is the need of development of programmer defined data type? Again, I am writing. Well, next. Okay. Next point. See, point to point. Slowly, I am getting into the subject. Now, what is the keyword you are using to develop functions? DEF. What is the keyword you are using to develop lambda functions? Lambda. What is the keyword you are using to develop, which concept you are using to develop programmer defined data type? ఏమి అట్లా చూస్తారు మీరు? చూసి నా భయం అవుతుంది అసలు. The purpose of classes concept is to develop what? Programmer defined data type. To develop which data type? Programmer defined data type. Programmer defined data type by using which concept? By using which concept? Classes concept. We use a keyword called, come on, class. ఇది చెప్పడానికి ఎన్ని చెప్పాను ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్. Which keyword is used for development of functions? DEF. Which keyword is used for development of anonymous functions? Lambda. Which keyword is used for development of programmer defined data type with classes concept? That's all. Easy. What is a class? Class is a very dangerous candidates you are. That's what I said. Classes are complicated. Whoops is complicated. But I will explain whoops like anything. I will explain like anything. If you want to catch it, you can take. Praveen Kumar is saying collection of variables is a blender. Praveen is saying collection of variables. That is called a collection of objects. It's a blender. Beginning day only I said. Meeku telisin already wrong. Whoops low. That's why listen my class carefully. What is a class here? Keyword. What is the purpose of class? What is the need of development of programmer defined data type? That's all. That's all. Come on. Come on. Rahul, yes. Sir, then who developed first class? Okay. It's a very dangerous question. Who used first medicine in the medicine field? ఇలాంటి క్వశ్చన్స్ చాలా కాంప్లికేటెడ్. It's very complicated. Patient. Okay. Okay. Very good answer. Rahul, yes. Some of the online student is saying who developed a class? Object-oriented programmers. So we should not say that. Okay. Rahul is asking something. So yes, Manikanta is answering perfect. Class is a keyword which is used for developing programmer defined data type. This is a perfect answer. Sweet answer that is. Understand my point? Next, come on to the point of it. Tell me, how do you define a class? How do you define a function? DEF, function name, lambda, formal parameters. How do you develop a class? Class name. What is class name? Programmer defined data type. Every class name is called programmer defined data type, na? List, set, dict, they are all called what? Predefined class names. Class student, class employee, class teacher, student, employee, teacher are called what? Class names. Every class name is treated as programmer defined data type. Every class name programmatically, every class name is treated as programmer defined data type. Programmer defined data type. Now, next, every Python program in Whoops starts with what? Classes concept. Otherwise, there is no Python program. This is called concept. Only 3 points I said. Go to any interview and say these points, you will be fixed. What is that? Must starts with, okay, spelling mistake. Must starts with what? Class. Every line number. Every Python program. Okay. Every Python program must starts with what? Classes concept. Now I am going to say definition of what? Class. Easy. See how I will make you to understand. What is the, how do you develop programmer defined data type? If you look at like that, I am not going to teach properly. Data types developed by using what? Classes concept. So programmer defined data type purpose is what? Customized data storage, customized operations. So customized data to store inside the class, I will take what? Variables. To perform the operations inside the class, I will write what? Over, that is. Customized data to store variables are required. To perform the customized operations, I will write what? Functions. Who will perform the operations? Functions. Long ago, functions are meant for performing operations. To store the data, I will write inside the class. To perform the operations on that, we will write what? Functions. Inside of where? So tell me, what is a class? A class is a collection of. A class is a collection of what? Come on, students. Collection of what? Variables, comma, functions. Functions. Now, these functions in Python are called today onwards what? What is the definition of function? You already forget. Subprogram of main program is called a function. A part of main program is called a function. A subprogram of main program written without whoops is called a function. A subprogram written inside the class is called a method. Understand or not? So, coming to the point of it, now I am going to give one more thing. Mr. Naveen Kumar residing in India is called Indian. He is same person going to USA is called what? American. What is same? Its existence is same. If I write a function without classes, it is known as what? Function only. If I write a function inside of where? Class, it is called what? Method. How many variables are there? That is an important. There are what? Instance variables are there. Instance variables are there. Class level variables are there. That is my tomorrow's lecture. Tomorrow's lecture, Republic Day special. Right. You may go for Delhi somewhere else to host the flag. You will lose this whoops. Methods means what? There are instance methods are there. Next is called what? Class level methods are there. And next is called what? Static methods are there. I will explain all these things. What is the definition of class? A class is a collection of variables, methods. Still, I will give detailed subject because after 8 hours, I will tell you the final definition of class. After all the functions are over, we'll prepare one definition of function definition or not. Like that, I will prepare the definition of class also. Today, I'm going to say a class is a collection of what? Variables. Don't worry about this. I'm removing, and methods also I'm removing here, and it is just close. Are you able to follow? Yes. Coming to the next one. One more thing I am writing. One part you need to remember, students. Once a class is defined, memory space is not created for what? Variables and what? Memory space will be created for storing data of that and methods. We need to create what? Object. This point also you need to get it. Because in the beginning days, I said you, if you want to construct a house plan is required. Correct or not? House plan, will you live in that plan? It is only just a specification. It is just only outline. It is a blueprint. Class is also blueprint. What you want inside of you want to store, you will write everything into one unit, one data type you will design. With the data type, I will create what? Object. So I'm writing important point. When we define a class, it's an important. When we define a class, memory space is not created. Memory space is not created for what? Data members. And what? Data members are nothing but what, students? You know, variables. Variables in other words called what? So when we define a class, memory space is not created for data members and what? Methods. But whose memory space is created? Whose memory space is created? When we create what? object. When we create object. Amma? That's what I'm saying. Variables, data members, attributes, these are all called what? These are all called what? That's what I'm saying. Attributes are present in where? So I already told you, you are still lack of behind. 2 plus 3j. What is A? Object of which class? Complex, very old story that is. What is complex? Class. Class or not? A dot what? Real. What is real? Attribute present in which class? So whatever attribute is there in the real class, that is reflected to what? Object. This will call it as what? Variable name, data member, or what? Attribute. A dot what? IMAG. What is IMAG? Attribute of which class? That IMAG is called what? Variable, data member, and object. That is reflected to what? Its object. Old story. And previously I told you one more also. CUR dot what? Row count. What is row count? Attribute. Cursor is an object of which class? In cursor class, what is my attribute? Row count is called variable or variable name inside of where? Which class? Cursor class. That I can access with respect to its object. Okay. Yes. Already discussed. Everything is there in the notes. Come on to that. When we create an object, whose memory space is created when we create objects? So coming to the point of it, coronavirus vaccination is developed. What is that? Class. It is released to the production unit and so many vaccinations bottles came. What are that bottles of that? Objects. Formula invention is what? Class. Formula implementation is what? Yes. A new model of the car want to released by some company. They will release the model or not? Model is what? Class. In that model, what they will say? Where are the, how many seats are required? Where are the AC events are required? Where is the power start button is required? Where are the interiors, how to design? They will mention everything in that specification. That will reflect to what? Physical component. That is called what? Object. Every property of class reflect to what? Object. That's what, when the model of the car is coming, a passenger cannot sit inside the model, but when the component come, he can sit inside the place. Right or not? So, when we define a class, memory space is not created, but whose memory space will be coming when we create? Object. This you try to remember. Tomorrow class, when we come back, we will talk about how to define the class in Python. Okay, na? So tomorrow class, we should not miss it. If you miss it, next days onwards, you will get the difficulty. Please remember this concept and come tomorrow class. I will go for defining tomorrow syntax for defining the class. Thank you, students.